Alright guys, welcome back to a new video, and the video I'm talking about today is a video I've been working on for the last couple months and I'm really excited about. You guys have seen some bits and pieces on it, and that is of course my used to be dining room. It used to just be this table right here with just some chairs. There was not much else. Everything else was just plain walls, nothing else in here. That has now been turned into essentially a bar slash gathering room is what I like to call it. Because it's a game, it's a room that we have obviously for gathering, so you can go ahead and eat dinner sometimes when we have a lot of people here, or gathering to play some games, and a bar behind us that we're going to talk about with some cool things over there. So a lot of changes happened here, and this all kind of started because I wanted to get this golden tea machine back here, and I wanted to get these two bigger machines here in the corner, but they didn't fit in my basement because of my height restrictions in the basement. They wouldn't let these fit. So I started talking to my wife like, hey, the dining room only really has a table in it. What do you think about putting some arcade rooms and arcade games in there? And obviously, she was a little bit not enthusiastic about the idea until I talked to her about it for a little while. Kind of sold her in the idea like, hey, let's make this into like a bar-themed arcade, not just a row of arcade machines like it is downstairs. We already have an arcade room. Let's make this into like an actual bar where we have like machines that kind of fit into a bar theme. So that's what we kind of have going on here. Is these machines that we have in this room, the things that we have in this room are kind of what you would find at a bar, and that's what kind of turned this into a bar slash gathering room. And so far we've had some people here, and we've had a really fun time in this room. This room's getting a lot more use than it ever has before. So let me show you guys everything that we did here. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so let's get into the video here, and let's go ahead and start from this corner right here. So, starting from this corner right here, as you guys can see, we have the Big Buck Hunter Reloaded arcade machine. And just so you guys know, everything that I have in this room, I have done a video on in one way, shape, or form. I will have links in the bio and the description down below so you guys can see full reviews on these machines or gameplay or anything you guys want to see. So if you want to see more in detail about any of these machines, they're definitely going to be linked down below. So this is my Big Buck Hunter Reloaded machine. As you guys can see, this is the newest edition of the machine. Really happy with it. You know, you got the artwork there. That looks fantastic there. Like I said, I got really lucky getting this into the house at all, because as you can see, my ceiling is almost at max capacity with this machine here, and technically it's missing the top sign, which I have in storage in case when we ever, you know, do a top floor here or whatever the future may hold, where I can actually raise these ceilings up. But for right now, there's supposed to be like a Buck Hunter sign that lights up on the top of that I obviously couldn't use. Luckily, it was removable, and you didn't actually need to use it, and there was no core components in there. So I was able to still fit this in my room, so I got really lucky. But yeah, this machine is fantastic. It's the most played machine in the arcade in my whole house right now. Every time someone comes over, this is the machine everyone gravitates towards. It's fun. You can play with up to 4 people. I can play online with other people at bars, which is really fun, even though I get killed by everyone I play. There's a lot of different game modes besides just Big Buck Hunter. Nice 42-inch screen. The guns have a crazy feel to them. They feel really nice weight to them, really well made, and this is going to get used for years and years to come. So super happy to have this to the collection. Can't believe I actually own a real arcade machine here, and I'm super happy with it. The next real arcade machine that we have is one of the ones that I got from Incredible Technologies. I love Incredible Technologies and their games. And this is their newest game to their fold, and this is Retro Raccoons. So Retro Raccoons is essentially an 8-bit game, as you guys are seeing here. And it is essentially a Mario Party type game. So you basically pick a person here, and you're playing a bunch of different minigames. You play 8 random minigames from 1 to 4 players. And you try to be the last person standing and be the one that wins the most minigames and win at the end. Very Mario Party minigame like. Really simple games. As you guys can see here, the control panel only has 1 button each. So there's not much else going on with this machine. It's literally just 1 button. You don't even have an up direction. You literally just have left, down, and right. But what really sets this machine apart that makes it unique, on top of the fact that they add updates to it every few months, so you get new mini games and stuff that get added to it, which is really cool, so they're always updating it for free. It's actually these cup holders right here is what sets it apart. It's being called as the first like Barcade machine, because essentially the way that you actually play a game, as you guys can see here, if I press this down, if I put my hand in here as if a drink was in there, the yellow player is now active. If I let it go, you see he's not active, and he tells you to insert drinks. And essentially what that's doing is that if you put a drink in there, that's how it knows you want to play. So bars then essentially can do that and have people buy more drinks to be able to play this game if they don't want to use like regular money like they used to. And what's really cool is that while you're playing the mini games, it will actually tell you like, hey, when you lost, you have to like cheers to everyone. So you have to like grab your drink, lift it up, and it detects if you lifted it up, and then you cheer to the other person because you lost, and you cheer to them because they won. So it's a really unique machine. There's nothing else like it in the market, and the mini games are really fun. There's over 40 mini games on it. And I've done some gameplay on this machine, so you guys can check that out in the link below if you want to. But really, really fun machine. The next machine that we have here that I've been wanting, this is my #1 machine that I've been wanting. Before any of the other machines came into this room, the #1 machine I thought about that I've always wanted in my arcade or in my house is this Golden Tee machine. But it's not just Golden Tee that I wanted. Even though it's themed to Golden Tee 2022, as you guys can see here, there's an arcade collection sign up there. And what I really, really wanted is to have an all-in-one machine. So Incredible Technologies makes all of these games and this one. So I basically own all of their games right now. And I love Golden Tee. It's a fantastic game. But I also really love games like Power Puck Golf and Target Toss Pro, and especially Silver Strike Bowling. That's the one that I was after the most. And obviously they used to sell these machines where they had a machine for each game. So it'd be one for Golden Tee, one for Silver Strike, one for Power Puck Golf, one for Target Toss. And I was like, well, that's never going to happen. So I'm not going to own like 4 of these giant pedestals in my house. So I was always like, I'm probably going to own maybe 1. And if I get lucky and I own 2, it'd definitely be Silver Strike and Golden Tee. Then recently, over the last year, they actually released the arcade collection here, which is essentially a board for all 3 of their games in one. And they're upgraded to 1080p. So you can actually play them for the first time 1080p 60 FPS for some of these older games. And now there's one board in there with all the games. And you can buy a cabinet with just the arcade collection that's new, and you can get those 3 games, and then Golden Tee. So I could have just done that, but I instead, to save room and have other room for other things, got this machine, custom from someone. I did a video on it, and this is Golden Tee 2022 with the latest update and the latest courses and everything, and I can play online, all that kind of stuff. And if you guys look behind it, I don't know if you guys can see it. Probably not, because it's really tight back there, but there's essentially 2 buttons back here. You can see the one lighting up here. One says Golden Tee and one says Arcade Collection, and all that does is it essentially switches the controls depending on what game I'm playing. So right now it's on the Arcade Collection. There's 2 HDMI cords that go from this machine into there. I think it's called a magic switcher that's in here, and it's great because then you can just go in there and play it and switch between the 2, either Golden Tee or Arcade Collection, really easily. And I have everything on one cabinet, which is fantastic. The only thing that kind of sucks is that like these HDMI cords, when you use a switcher like this, they have to be plugged in before the machine even turns on. Otherwise, the second input just doesn't work. That's how these machines are built. And that sucks because sometimes I only have 2 inputs on this TV, unfortunately, because it's just a regular 4K TV, nothing special. And that means that I can't like turn this off or have a a TV or anything plugged into there, like a Google Chromecast plugged into the TV or anything, because if I unplug that Google Chromecast and then try to plug this HDMI cable in after this has already been turned on, it won't display a picture. I have to like turn this off and turn it back on, and it's like a 5-minute reboot. So it's a little annoying, but that's a minor annoyance for being able to have a machine like this where I can just play every game on it at once, which is fantastic. The next one we have here is, of course, NFL Blitz from Arcade 1UP. I wanted a sports-themed machine in here. Originally, I had an NBA Jam, but then when they announced this machine, me and my wife are huge football fans, and she's a Dolphins fan, and I'm a 49ers fan, and the fact that this cabinet actually has both our teams on the same side as artwork, we knew it had to be added into our house, not even just for the game itself, which I really like, but just the fact that it's our teams, and it fits a bar theme, which is what we were going for in this room, the fact that we have NFL Blitz. So the opinions on this cabinet are still out. I did an impressions video on where it currently stands, but the online play is kind of what's supposed to be setting it apart, and there's still some bugs in the game that happen while you play. So Arcade 1UP still hasn't even made an official announcement. I don't know what they're doing, but they should have at least come out and said, hey, we're going to have it ready by this date. But we're all still waiting. I'll be doing an updated impressions video in the middle of October on where we stand with that and if it's actually worth it, because they need to get online play working and playing well, and they need to fix the glitches that sometimes happen in interceptions. But other than those 2 things, which are obviously the biggest deals, but the cabinet itself, the look of the control unit and stuff, and the graphics and stuff, I really, really like, and I like having this in the room. So you guys can check out my full video if you want to hear more thoughts, but really happy to have this, and it's a lot of fun to play. The next one we have on here is, of course, my Guitar Hero machine. We also have the play sign up here, which is really cool, and the San Francisco and Dolphins thing that I missed there. But moving over here, we got like a little Pac-Man sign, and then we have this right here. So we have the fondest memories are made when gathered around the table. A really cool sign there that makes sense for this room with the Pac-Man kind of chilling up there. So this Guitar Hero machine is another thing that I did a review on. I got this from Retro Lizards Arcade. It's a custom machine, of course. And I really wanted a Guitar Hero machine. And this also is one of the most played machines on here because everyone loves Rock Band and Guitar Hero. And I wanted a dedicated machine towards it because obviously there's a PC version of something called Clone Hero that's on here, and it basically has thousands and thousands of rock band, Guitar Hero song, and custom songs that come out to this day, and it's everything that you could want. It has every song you can think of. I have over 7,000 songs in Clone Hero alone, and then I even have, you know, the official games if I want to kind of feel like the same graphic style and play them on like PS2, like Guitar Hero 2 and World Tour and stuff, that I could play if I want to. But Clone Hero is where it's at because all the songs are on there. It plays fantastic, and you can actually play online with other people and play set lists with other people online, which is awesome. And the cabinet looks fantastic. I love the lights that I decided to add with him in the front that make it shine, and then we got the lights in the back that go to the music, which is really cool. Love the whole design. Love that it's like really tall, so it's not as short as an arcade one-up or anything. It feels like a real machine. And I also use it for karaoke as well, which a lot of people love in my house, and I love as well. That I've actually done some previews on this channel. If you guys want to hear me singing on Disney songs, that's below. And if you guys want to get Disney songs that I'm having custom made for this machine for Guitar Hero or for Clone Hero and stuff, because there's not a lot of them out there, and for the karaoke game, I did a video on that as well that you guys can get involved with that. But yeah, I do karaoke. We got the 2 wireless microphones on there. I got like 3,000 karaoke songs so far on there. Everything from the beginning to end of time, from old stuff to new stuff, everything in between. Have a lot of fun playing it, and yeah, this machine gets a lot of use. Coming over here after Guitar Hero is my dartboard section. I really wanted a dartboard in my house because I used to have one down in the basement, but it never got played because it was always in the way of like my computer and stuff, so it was a little annoying that people weren't always playing. But now this is another machine that everyone gravitates to as well when they come over. Everyone loves it. And what sets this one apart here is the fact that it's online connected as well. So for those of you guys who don't know, again, I did a full review on this. This is a internet connected one where you use an iPad or a phone screen or something on the side. I have an iPad sitting on the side, and you can actually pick the game you want to play. So you can do local play 301 and all the normal stuff. It has online play where you can join other people in a lobby. Has all your stats of everything you've ever done. I'm not doing that great, but you guys can see all your stats there that you level up. They even have party game modes and stuff like that. Up to 8 players that can play at the same time and rotate through. And what's really cool is that when you play online, I got this camera here that basically faces the game board so everybody knows that you're, you know, not cheating or anything and the darts are actually being thrown. And then you got the iPad camera that faces towards you while you're playing from back here. And people can see you, and you can talk to people and chat with real people from all over the world. Really, really cool. It makes playing darts even more fun because obviously it's great that I can play these games even if people aren't here. That's what I really wanted in this room, is I wanted games that I can play on my own in case I don't have people here all the time, because obviously I don't. And that's true for almost every machine in this room. This is online connected, that's online connected with Clone Hero, NFL Blitz should hopefully be, Golden Tee is. This machine is the only one that's actually not online connected, and this one is as well. So that's what I kind of wanted for this room, is to make sure I can play all these games anytime I want. So this is a fantastic board. If you guys want a dartboard, definitely check out Grandboard. It's the best dartboard I've ever had, and the online sets it apart from everything else. It's really, really good. And some of the other things we got to talk about here is the fact that we have a bar area here. So this bar area kind of turned into where I moved my machine. So these machines here were downstairs in the beginning. This is my Mega Touch machine. If you guys aren't familiar with Mega Touch, it is basically a touchscreen computer that they used to have at bars before iPads were a huge deal. That used to have like tournaments and you can pay cash and stuff, and they have like over 140 games on it. All these touchscreen games like quiz, word games, you know, finding different things in pictures and what's the difference and all that kind of stuff. Really, really fun machine. Another one a lot of people play all the time. And then this is JVL's version of the exact same thing. This was like the two competing people. This is a bigger screen and was an HD version of the Mega Touch, but essentially the same type of deal where you can play the touchscreen games, and they both had very similar games to each other. But this gets a lot of use. They're a lot of fun to play, and people love this thing. I've had people ask me like where they can buy them. Unfortunately, they're really expensive. They're like, for these models that I have here, like this JBL costs like almost $2,000 nowadays, and this Mega Touch, like, because I got it with an SSD and everything inside, costs like usually like $1,500 or so. So unless if you get lucky and find them and restore them, but Really, really happy with how this turned out. We got the bar area up here. We got the little wine area. We got our favorite drinks up there. I'm a big Malibu fan. We got the little bar sign there with all our caps from all the beers and stuff, which is really cool. We got the little nice blackboard that we wrote in the background there, which is really cool. We got our 49ers and Dolphins here again. We usually put peanuts or something here where people are over, with the drinks hiding in the background there. This is just some storage for some stuff that we use for the kitchen. And then we got our NFL Blitz stool over here, just one stool here, just when people are kind of sitting here. If they want to sit in front of one of these machines, they could do that. And then over here in the corner, we just got some games that kind of relate to bar themed. Again, sticking with the bar theme. I have to do some reviews on these, so you guys will see them, especially this one right here, which is really, really cool. It's called Foozy, and I'll be doing a review on my channel here shortly, which uses an iPhone and an iPad app, and you're playing like a shuffleboard type football game. It's really, really cool, so look forward to that. And then Clask, which is out there, and what's the other one that's down there? Tumble and Dice, which is really cool. And then this game here is really cool as well. So I got to do some reviews on this stuff, but essentially I have my bar themed games. These are games that you find at bars, which is kind of the whole premise of the whole room, is games that you find at bars. So the last thing we got to talk about here is the table itself. Now, of course, when people are here and we're eating, these machines aren't obviously on here, but when we're having just a party, sometimes we just have snacks right here in the middle, like some cheese and crackers and stuff, and this isn't being used for anything heavy like that. What we have here are my board game devices. I love board games. Even though I have a board game table downstairs with the real board games, I kind of reserve this area to kind of have this as my digital board game area. There's a lot of devices coming out now that are kind of trying to fill that void. And of course, here in front of me is the Infinity Game Table. I know you guys know this is from Arcade 1-Up. I've done a lot of reviews for them on my channel with the games that come out and stuff. So you guys are all aware about what that is, and I have a lot of fun with that, playing that with people. Hopefully they keep releasing more games like they're doing now, because I have a lot of fun with that, and I always can't wait to see what's coming next from them. Then over here is actually something that unfortunately does not exist anymore. It was called originally Play Table on Kickstarter. I know a lot of people backed it on Kickstarter and never got anything, and then it became Tab Top. And that obviously went nowhere because they eventually, seems like they went out of business. We haven't heard from them in months. They just kind of flew off the Discord and didn't answer anybody for like the last 6 months. I fortunately still have a table, and even though there's no updates anymore to these games or anything coming out to it anymore, even though you could still buy this on Amazon, but I wouldn't, because you can't do anything with it because it's paperweight. But luckily, I kind of got it before they went out of business from them, and I was looking into this, and they do have some games on here that are not on other systems as of right now that are actually really well done. Catan is on here, that's really fun to play. Codenames is on there, and some other games that you recognize that are really fun party games that I can't play on anything else that a lot of people like playing. That's why it's up here, even though it's kind of dead in the water because nothing else new is coming out to it. There's specific games that a lot of people like playing on here. This is a 24-inch screen. That's a 32-inch screen sitting over there. And the newest machine that we have here that I've been doing some videos on lately that you guys obviously can check out is the last game board. This is the one that I'm most excited about right now because it's very different from all the other ones. These are obviously touchscreen devices that are just using touchscreen to make digital board games a thing for local play with large touchscreens, which I think is fantastic. And this is kind of leveling it to another level here, where they're trying to take not just the digital platform, but something that you can actually use miniatures for. So you can play the digital version of a game, but also interact with real pieces at the same time. For example, if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, the map may be on here, but you can use real pieces to move around the map, and it may detect line of sight and stuff like that. Or sometimes you maybe in the future can use real dice and roll it in your hand, but the game knows what the dice rolled, so you actually have the feel of real dice, but having the digital versions of the game. So I've been playing a lot with that. I showed you guys a couple of videos on this already, and I have more videos coming out soon. This one's currently powered off right now, but you guys will find videos on that down below in my description if you guys want to learn more about that. And I have an affiliate link as well if you guys want to pre-order it. It's fantastic so far. It is early. It is a beta review that I have right here. So they're still working on a lot of things before the production run happens either late at the end of this year or early next year, more than likely. But really, really having fun with that. So that's my touchscreen devices here. I love having board game nights and stuff sometimes, and sometimes we play physical board games downstairs. But if there's a lot of people here playing party games, they can sit at this table, play all of these fun games over here, and then other people can be playing some of these on the other side, and it's really, really fun. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that tour of the new gathering / barcade room that we have going on here. A lot of different machines in here, a lot of different fun things that I added, things that I never even thought I would ever have. I would have never thought I would have had a legit Big Buck Hunter Reloaded sitting in my house because I knew it was always too tall and stuff, and we barely got that thing in here. like I talked about with the height requirements. And then we got this machine here. We got my all-time favorite, like 2-in-1 machine here. We got a sports machine in here, NFL Blitz, that I talked about. You know, the Guitar Hero machine. These touchscreen devices. I love touchscreen board games that we can play on the table. The bar machines that were back there. All of these cool things. The dartboard. So really, really happy with exactly how this room turned out. Obviously, it is completely full because we don't want to turn this into like an arcade room where the machines are just back to back to back to back like they are in the arcade room. So this room is officially done. The only way something that changes out of this room is if something leaves. And honestly, I don't really see anything leaving because all of these machines are something I've been wanting for forever, especially Big Buck Hunter and this Golden Tee machine. You know, I'm going to get uses for years to come. Guitar Hero is a machine I've always wanted, so that's not going to go anywhere. So the only way that these possibly ever move in my head is if there's something in the future that I really like that are these big, tall machines that have no way of fitting in the basement, and I have to put them up here, and they still fit well in here, and then maybe Guitar Hero or NFL Blitz moves downstairs in space for a new one. But I don't know if that is ever going to happen because I don't really have a machine out there in my mind that I really want. That are big machines like these three are. Because you guys got to remember that the machines that I actually like, they got to be newer machines. Like I'm not really into collecting like 80s or 90s like big CRT machines that I have to like work on. CRTs are broken. I don't want to deal with all that. I don't want to be known as like an arcade operator. I want things to just work. So the only way for that to happen is, of course, getting machines that are essentially brand new. And at least if they're not brand new, if they are brand new and something goes wrong, I have a company that I can reach out to and say, hey, this is broken, send me a new part, and they will. Where obviously if you find these old machines from the 80s, 90s and stuff, you're obviously on their own to fixing these things. And most of the people who have like 10 or 20 of those machines in their house end up fixing them more than they play them. So that's not where I want to go. That's why I got these machines. These are the ones that I really wanted. Like I said, I don't really have anything else in my head that I really need in this room that are like real machines. These were kind of like my main ones here. But we'll see what the future holds. But right now, this is fully amazing. Super happy with how everything turned out here. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So thank you guys for watching. Leave any questions or comments or anything you guys want to talk about down below. And thank you guys for watching. Until next time.